Right.
How do you even know who you are anymore?
Right.
You
Right.
know what
Right.
I
Right.
mean? You're
Yeah.
fitting. You're trying to do the OJ glove.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, your soul has arthritis, and the
Right.
shit don't fit.
If I'm actually thinking you're acting different, manic spitting sounds of manic depressant.
Oh, right there.
Let's do what's trending. Yeah. So let's talk about this then. As a Christian man, you don't believe in open marriages.
Correct.
I, on the other hand, as a single man,
Yeah.
very much is all about. I've been looking for a non-monogamous situation for a very long time.
Right. Right.
But mostly because I don't want to be your main dude. I will happily be your side dude.
You know, the thing is, I don't think you believe that.
No, I do believe it.
I don't. I don't think.
I do believe it. I do believe it.
I don't think so.
Well, what you need to question is why I believe it more than whether I believe, because I do believe it, but you need to understand why I believe it. But I'm not going to make this about that.
Right.
I'm confused though.
Right.
About why this even had to be spoken about, because they have an open marriage. Why does this even matter?
Because I think the whole thing I don't think that's been verified that they have an open marriage. That was always rumors. Okay. It was always rumors.
Oh, so because she's been running around for so damn long, people just said they must have an open marriage.
well, the thing is, what she said was that when they did that red table talk or whatever.
Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah, what she was saying was that they were already they were already separated.
Oh, wow.
They were like, it was bad. Like the relationship was bad.
Yeah.
So, this comes to the thing where, like what rich people do when they just think of words that they can't even use common folk words, right? Yeah. So I just want to remind you, when Gwyneth Paltrow divorced or got from the guy from the lead singer from Coldplay, I forgot his name. Like she said, it's an uncoupling.
Oh,
it's a divorce. I don't want to be together.
Yeah,
uncoupling.
The entanglement.
Yeah. It's like you're like my kids, right?
Yeah.
Like they get into some they try to like,
yeah. It's not quite a divorce. Yeah, it's almost like you're afraid to say.
Right.
The word. Yeah, we no, you're right. There's it's not just rich people. People are, I think, generally have a little cowardice, especially when it comes to things that they did. You know what I mean? And they don't want to just admit that they cheated or they fucked up or whatever.
Right. Yeah. I didn't get to hear the whole thing, but of like the quotes I hear, I just see that, like she said, like she didn't regret the relationship. It helped her see, I guess realize like, things that she had to work on and all that. I think, and we got to watch it. I think the thing is, it's like you can almost give an excuse now, like to do anything. Right. And to me, I don't know. It seemed like she was able to, she gave a lot of reasons why it happened. And then, you don't even know. Like, I mean, they're cool with each other now. So, like, obviously, they're, they work past it, which is good. Yeah. I just think, things are, it's like as long, you can think of an excuse for everything to whatchamacallit. I don't know.
Yeah, I think what we actually are realizing now as people, as time goes on, and we're coming to like a reckoning almost, is we're really starting to realize that people are terrible.
Yes.
And that 9 times out of 10 they're acting in their own best interest.
Yeah.
And they're acting on passion, and they're making like decisions not necessarily based on logic and stuff like that. Yep. And we're just continuously making so many excuses that we end up coming to a road where it's just like, well, what boils down to is I fucked up, or I am a human being, right?
Right.
What is weird about this though is that August is half her age.
Yeah.
And I don't want to make this because I know that this could turn into like a misogyny thing, but I don't want to do that. It's just like keeping the same energy for both sides is necessary, right? The difference is for dudes,
But you can't, in society, that's not what happens.
Well, correct. And one of the differences too, the reason why no one's looking at it this way is because for dudes, we would prop each other up for it. But for women, it for sure is a completely different thing. You know what I mean? So I don't want to misconstrue that. Whereas a dude, we may, because men, living in this society we live in, men are more in control. So it's easy for a man to stop it. For a woman, it's a compromising situation.
Well, but also I think now there is and I have an idea why she was used the words. She was very smart in the words that she used, right? But I think now there is that, but then it's also that the woman is always the victim.
Correct, yeah.
Right? Or that she doesn't have any power.
Yeah.
Right? So and that's like a misogynistic even point of view too.
Correct.
But then also a woman could use that, right?
Yeah, that's true.
To their
which to be clear,
to dismiss behavior.
Correct.
That probably shouldn't be.
Well, which to be clear, because anyone listening, I don't want to assume that we're saying that is what happens typically, because I don't think that's what happens typically. I think a lot of women do get victimized, even when they seemed in control in the moment and later look back and realize that they may have been victimized, is a real thing. But with this, was a little bit different because, I don't completely know. I mean, this is just stuff that I've read, kind of like offhanded about their relationship. He looked up to her, and it seems like she groomed him, is what it seems like.
Exactly. So that's where I think that's why she used the words, and she danced around a lot of that, because she said they wanted to help him because he was having a lot of mental health issues. So in helping him, she got entangled, right? And things got there. So that is quite the definite, and she's in power. She's a bigger,
for sure.
Yeah, and when we say the same energy, that's where I saw. I was like, wow, this is crazy. These are those things where you're like, oh, if this was a man, 100%. Right, then this is not, whatever.
Yeah, this would be a Me Too situation.
Oh my goodness.
But again, to be clear, the difference here is, and this is kind of where, and again, because I know how. The problem is we take brush strokes in society, right? We just take brush strokes to say this is this, and now this is this.
Right.
But it's like you really do got to look at things a little bit different. Man, and I've been talking about this forever.
Right.
When it comes to mental health, we're not encouraged to talk about mental health. We're discouraged. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're looked at as weak, not just by other men. I talked to a woman one time on a dating app.
Yeah.
Who I told her, I was like, I suffer from some mental health issues. And she got like scared. She was like, oh, like she treated it in a way that was like taboo. And I was like, grow the fuck up. She was like 36. I'm like, grow up, bro. Like, this is not a taboo thing. If we can't be open about this shit, how are men ever supposed to, like, where would a man ever feel comfortable talking about their mental health? But, and because when a man is molested by a woman, or like, for example, like that woman, the woman teacher who, fucked one of her students, stuff like that.
Right.
Men will give each other props and big each other up, and we think that it's okay when they do that. Right. So August may brag about this, and he may think it's okay, but not. Just like if a woman was in the same situation and years later is realizing that she is traumatized by it, the same thing could happen to this dude. And that's the thing that men, because we're discouraged to talk about our mental health, he may not realize. So, so he was groomed. Is essentially all that to say he was groomed. And the reason I brought up the brushstrokes is because we can't. You have to look at this, even if August was cool with it, and is not accusing her. That is predatory ass behavior. Like that behavior is bad predatory.
No, but you got to think about it. Okay, so and I think this is where, if you really dive deep, right, what happens is if she's not has a good relationship with Will, right? Let's say that, and she's becomes and creates a friendship and, a close bond with August, and they become close, and she becomes attracted to him, and he's attracted to her,
Mm-hmm.
you know, yeah, you could say she groomed, you know, you could say that, or maybe they just, you know, that's what happened. Like, you can't stop yourself from liking somebody.
Yeah, the problem though turns here is the person that you like. So in a situation like this, when I think about this, I think about Jada Pinkett Smith is Jada Pinkett Smith,
Right.
right? And like a person that we grow up idolizing
Right.
and idealizing. So August Alsina is in a situation where he has a thing for a figure that is so powerful to him that even if he wasn't attracted to her, he's attracted to her, and she could take advantage of that situation. And that's what we don't completely know. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's where somebody gets victimized, where he may not understand his own feelings until a later date. You know what I mean? This is not to put words into anybody's mouth.
Yeah.
But when if you're talking about you took somebody in and they have mental health issues and you're helping them, well, what does helping them mean? You're trying to mold and shape them and help them become productive, right? Oh, that means it sounds like you're grooming him. Now, grooming, the word grooming doesn't mean I'm grooming him for a sexual relationship, right? It means I'm grooming him to become a better man. It's still grooming. Now she becomes attracted to him. So you groomed him until you were attracted to him? That's a problem. You feel me? That is problematic.
Yeah. And it could be. And the I think the thing is, like, when you hear these terms like grooming, people just paint the brush stroke on everything.
Correct.
Like anything that, you know, like, oh, since that person was in a position of power,
correct,
you know, then that they were able to groom this person or whatever. But then you're also taking away the almost the decision of that person, like the other person. That's right. True. So like, when is, you know, and you know, Andrew Schultz?
Yeah. The comedian from Brilliant.
I don't really agree with him on a lot of stuff because he's like real brash, but he kind of brought something up. He was like, because it was with the comedian Chris D'Elia thing, where he, you know, people are saying, oh, he was grooming these girls.
Yeah,
you know,
I don't know if he was grooming them, but
I don't think he was grooming them because they were like simple interactions, right?
Yeah,
like they were like, hey, can you, you know, grooming, I feel like takes but
but because he is a pervert,
he's a celebrity,
he's a pervert, right? But I don't think he was doing the Woody Allen groomed.
Right. Yeah, you're setting him up.
Correct.
He, you know, they're saying like, well, he took advantage of his power.
Correct.
Right.
And I don't think that's what grooming is necessarily.
Yeah. And then so, because he's a celebrity, right? Now and I think he said, okay, where's the point where girls can make their own decisions, right? Like, where is it when they stop being, he said, because we just got to make that decision, right? Is it 19? Because like a lot of them were like 17.
Yeah.
I think there was like one or two where they were like 16, but like they were like right in that like almost adult age, right? He's like, when is it that they can make their decision? Because we give them, you know, we as a society, we're like, women have to should make any decision they want, whoever they sleep with, blah 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 blah. But then it becomes weird when it's like someone in power, right? If he was a bum, right? If he was just a regular Joe Schmo, when is it like, okay, like she made that decision to do stuff with him?
Yeah, well, because the allure of fame, the way we understand the allure of fame, it takes away our better decision making, right? And for Chris D'Elia, you got to know better. That's how I feel. Like, you got to know better. I've had younger chicks try to talk to me like 21, and I'm just like, what could I ever glean from you? And I'm ever going to spend any time with you? It just doesn't make sense. It's not fair to me. It's not fair to you. You feel me? Because I know the game. See, and because this is what it is I know the game, right? So you're 21. I've been around.
Right.
I know exactly what to tell you to get what I want. And that's the problem, right? That is taking advantage of somebody. You feel me? That is victimizing somebody.
Yeah, no. But here's the thing. But then when is it? So only when you're older. Right? Because guess what? You know what? 9 times out of 10, a guy who's 21 knows how to do the same thing.
In some cases,
at the same age.
Look at August.
You know,
I'm sorry.
huh?
Look at August Alsina. No, I'm joking.
Yeah. So I think I saw the point that he was trying to make.
Yeah.
It was like, where do you get to make that decision to where you're not being like a victim just because? So then basically anyone, because you're famous,
Mm-hmm.
where does this? Where is it? Because that's what it is. We love famous people.
Correct.
We do everything for famous people. We give them famous people get free stuff.
Correct.
They get, they use their fame because
Yeah.
but people willingly
Mm-hmm.
give it. Like you could think about it. And he flipped it. He said, what about them like beautiful women?
Mm-hmm.
They use that power.
Right.
Like they're able to, do things. So I guess it's just a weird thing because I think there's like all these like terms that people use and then they just smack it with a paintbrush.
Correct.
And say this is grooming.
Yeah.
This is grooming. But I think in this case, it looks like grooming.
Yeah.
It looks like grooming.
Correct.
Right. And that's why she was very careful in saying what she did.
Correct.
And she was doing, very like, she was being a ninja with words because she was not trying to say, because I mean, basically, she's saying, and then
you have a wrong turn and everyone's going to say you're grooming.
The thing is, we all have those trigger words, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You say, once you say I have mental health, sometimes like in the celebrity sphere,
for sure,
that's the excuse that you're able to kind of excuse
Yeah.
any type of behavior.
Yeah.
Because now we're trying to, look and listen to people with those issues.
We're trying to be sensitive to that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So now she's saying, I was working through my own issues. Yeah. I had these problems.
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of why my behavior
was this way. Yeah.
So the thing is, it's kind of like, how, some people have, and I think, I don't know if you know Jamila, what's her name? She's a Indian actress. And she's very outspoken, like, in regards to like a lot of issues. And one of the people came at her because she's very, she's ultra liberal, like, pro everything.
Yeah.
But one of the things is she took a job for judging, I think it was it was like something about I can't remember, but it was something that's heavily LGBT, yeah. And people start coming at her because they're like, yo, you're not you're not even part of that like community. Why would you be judging it? Like it was like something with dance or something like that.
Oh, okay. I see.
And she was like, and then all of a sudden she was like, hey, I'm bi. And it was like,
did that just come out of nowhere? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, hey, you could have been.
Yeah, you might, maybe.
But the thing is, now you were hoping, like even Kevin Spacey, when he was doing all that craziness with dudes, like in the
the way you said that. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Which was like maybe grooming and also rape, I guess.
Yeah.
Like he said, hey, he made a statement announcing that he's gay. Right.
Correct.
And a lot of people were like, yo, don't we could see through that, so it's like certain things that you're able to throw, like, hey,
as a shield. You think this is going to shield you?
Exactly.
Yeah, correct.
But you got to look deeper into what of your behavior, because the thing is, we do that, right? But then we don't do it for other people,
correct?
Right? So, but with this, that's why I was like, oh, she's being a ninja with the words because she knows it could be looked bad, like especially because August Alsina has really talked about those issues. Like he's gone through some trauma.
Listen, as somebody who suffers from mental health issues, I always say mental health is not an excuse to be a dick. That's like a thing I read years and years ago, and that's the truth. Just because you suffer from anxiety, depression, whatever, is no excuse to be a dick or to treat other people wrongly. I try to be as upfront as I am, like when I'm like, yo, I'm suffering from this, you know what I mean, or whatever, and I'm like apologetic about it because I know if I'm causing an issue or if I'm stopping or hurting somebody else's thing, I feel bad. I don't want that to happen. This is why it's happening, and I'm still sorry. I am sorry, right?
Right.
But yeah, there is no excuse for you to have groomed him. That doesn't mean there's no. I don't know the spectrum of mental health that says but these mental health. If you have bipolarism, you tend to groom younger people. That doesn't exist. You know what I mean? So like, it definitely seems that way. And we need to call that what it is. That's what keeping the same energy. When we say because people think keeping the same energy means brushstroking this, just like you would brushstroke this. So that means now we cancel her just like we cancel everybody else.
Right.
But everyone needs to slow the fuck down and look at every single particular situation and be like, and you need to assign the right level of penance for these people to complete, right? Like you can't take her situation and say she's deserves to be canceled the same way Bill Cosby deserves to be canceled. That's what I've been saying for years, right? People will cancel R. Kelly. You'll cancel who is the Indian comedian? Aziz, right?
Aziz.
They'll cancel Aziz with the same night they canceled R. Kelly. You can't.
Yeah, and that's completely different.
That don't make sense.
You know what I mean? What
Aziz did was wrong. I'm not mad at that. He has repentance to do.
Right, but the thing is, even with Aziz, people are like, it's a hard issue.
Correct.
Because there was, she never said no, and he, it was led to him to believe that, he just didn't read the cues.
The thing is I had a similar situation as Aziz did. Right. And I did almost the same thing. I didn't end up having sex with the woman.
Right.
And this is why he has repentance to do.
Right.
And it's literally almost the exact same thing, except I didn't have sex with the person. And the next day, she told me, you know what I mean, that I had made her feel uncomfortable, whatever.
Right.
And I was like mad apologetic, but in the back of my mind, I attributed to something else. I said, no, you're lying. You know what I mean? Right. You're not being real. It's a different reason, and you're using this as an out.
Right.
And then when I saw the Aziz thing, I felt even worse because I was like, oh, damn. Yeah. I shamed this person. I didn't shame to her or anybody else. It was just to me, to be clear, right? I had carried around this thing that I was like, man, fuck her. She's just whatever. And in reality, she probably actually did feel that way, and I made her feel uncomfortable, and I felt terrible about that. And when I heard the Aziz thing, I was able to be like, yeah, he has some repentance to do. Because
I didn't think he bashed her.
No, he didn't bash her. He didn't bash her.
Yeah.
But his I would say his apology wasn't great. You know what people miss with apologizing and shit? Is like, yo, you don't need to type up a long thing. It's just yo, you know what? I fucked up and I'm sorry. And I got work to do and I'm gonna figure that out and that's my bad. That's all it's gotta be. Don't make excuses. You know what I mean? And all this shit. Because
the thing is, in all and here's the problem. And I guess we have to look at it is he responsible? And maybe now that I'm saying it, there is a sense to it, but that's something that happened between him and another person. Yeah. So now he has to make a public apology to a person.
I agree that he's not responsible to the public. That is a thing that I think social media fucked up. I guess in Fame you assume some of that. But like I was thinking about that with the Louis C.K. thing. He released that shitty public apology and he fucked up. All he really, in my opinion, needed to do was apologize to the victims. You feel me? Go apologize to that person. They need the apology. They require the apology. I don't. You know what I mean? But I guess with Fame, maybe listen, if you want to be famous and you intend on making money based on fame, I guess you do need to make a public apology.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I guess that's what it comes down to. But the point being, don't judge Aziz how you judge R. Kelly. R. Kelly is a predator. You know what I mean? Like Bill Cosby's a predator.
Oh, yeah.
These people are predators. Aziz, he fucked up one time and he didn't pick up on the cues. And the problem is, and this is the other problem, and you know this as well as I do growing up. As men, we were told, even when she says no, she really means yes.
Yeah.
Right? How many times did we hear that growing up? Like, that was a fucking thing until you actually believe it. And now all of a sudden you're finding out women are being raped, right? And it's like, you know what I mean? Like,
And you know what the thing is though, there was always a game, right?
Correct.
Because part of that
That's
is
what we believed. Just to be clear, we believe that there's always a game.
no, there is a game. Right?
In some cases.
No, but it's not as far as like what we're saying. The thing is, I feel like a lot of times that stuff, you know, and you could say, oh, it's because of the patriarchy or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, you know, when it comes to the first move, right?
Yeah.
You know, how many times have you left a date or something like that, and you know, you know, like let's say you didn't kiss the girl, and she's like, oh, I wish you would have kissed me. Mm-hmm. Or you know, and so you know, oh, you should have done this or you should have done that, and you know, the thing is, it's like, well, you didn't, you know, it's almost like you didn't tell me, you know, I didn't, you know, and it's like, but I feel like it's also something that, you know, since women don't feel like they're supposed to be the pursuer, a lot of times they won't do it. This, and again, like you're right, this you can't like these are like, you know, Aziz Ansari is not R. Kelly.
Yeah, or Weinstein or Harvey
Weinstein or half of these dudes. You know what I mean? Like he didn't, you know, they were having consensual sex, and then she didn't like some of the stuff he was doing. He didn't read the cues.
Correct.
Right.
Well, they were hooking up. It was whether the sex is consensual is what we're really debating here.
But I think she said no. There was like things he was doing weird stuff that she didn't like.
Oh, I thought it was more that as they were getting there, she kept stopping him. Like these were the nonverbal cues. She was stopping him, but he took it as the cat and mouse game, kept going, and they then had sex.
Yeah, it's a weird. Like if you read it, it was just weird. He kept doing a weird thing.
Yeah.
Like, she didn't like it, and I felt, and then I feel like it kind of soured the moment, and then she kind of wasn't into it, and then but he wasn't taking that.
Okay, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, these are those things. Either way, you know.
Yeah, you know, that to me is in comparison a good problem.
Right.
Like dudes need to become better, right, at reading those cues and stuff like that. You know what I mean? At one point, she thought it was cool to at least hook up with him and whatever, you know what I mean? And then it went left. It's not as bad again as the predators we're talking about. Like these dudes are predators. Like Louis C.K. certainly seems like a predator. But this really goes to the disease of fame. Like that's why they call it the fame monster. Yeah. Because I think famous people reach a point, and this happens especially, I think, too, with athletes. And we've talked about this, where it's like LeBron James has never lived a normal life. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Probably from as early as he could remember a full day of what he's done. 12 years old, let's say, he was groomed to be the next thing already. You know what I mean? Like everyone knew that they were going to be betting on him. And therefore, they're never told no. And I think that line gets so blurred for people that are famous that they probably legitimately don't think they did anything wrong until later when the masses and regular people are like, hey, you did something fucked up here. And they're like, oh, I did? You know what I mean? Yeah. But I truly, like, I think there is definitely misogynistic tones here in terms of rape and things like that. That's not a question. So I'm not trying to explain away misogyny. But fame is one of the worst things I think. Like people are not prepared for fame. You know what I mean? Like,
oh no, definitely not. It gets
they're not equipped for it. You know,
it gets great. I mean, it's you got to think about it. When and this is where you'll see like a big difference into people. Like guys, I mean, it just shows kind of like how. You know, and I don't know how, you know, it says what it says about each of the sexes, but you know, like you'll see in a lot of instances where dudes, you know, dudes really just care if they're attracted to you. Yeah. You know, a lot of times, right? You could be poor, you could be rich, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Most times.
Whereas then, matter. You know, you could have, you know, a Tyrone Hill looking dude, and he has the most gorgeous. Wife, but had he not have that fame and money, you know, we could kind of bet that
That's the
wouldn't
thing
happen.
that we believe. So sometimes, go ahead.
No. That's come on, man. It's the truth. We know in a lot of cases, right? We could say, hey, there's, I saw you for who you are.
It's funny because I'm a negative person and I think people are terrible, but sometimes I don't completely know if I believe it or not. I mean, maybe. Listen, Pun was not a good-looking man. You know what I mean? He was not a good-looking man.
Right. He was not a good-looking guy.
And neither was
But no. But here's the thing.
I mean, Biggie's eyes was so lazy that I ain't get up to work a day in his life.
But these are all people who would admit they know why.
They believe that that's why.
No, they know why. It's easy, bro. Like we got to stop, and that's the thing. We got to stop like beating around the bush.
I don't know, but I don't know if I totally agree.
No, you don't want to agree because you don't feel like it's politically correct.
No, that's not the truth.
No. Listen.
No, that's not the truth.
No.
Go ahead. It's not the truth. Go ahead.
Because this goes against like all the stuff that we hear about now. If I get money and I'm rich, I will be more attractive to a lot more people. That's it. Okay,
but so let me take a step over here. So you're saying that there's no possible way that you got rich, started dressing nicer, grooming better, having more confidence, and that made you more attractive to a lot of people?
No, because the thing is, a lot of those people, they still look the same how they were, like that. You're trying to say like, oh, you're polishing up a turd almost.
A little bit, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, no. It's because, and the thing is, they'll talk about, it's more like kind of, signs, right? But the thing is, I don't know how, like, this will be against what a lot of people think, but they're saying like women when they look for a male, when they look for a man, they look at someone who can provide, who can, and that when you have that makes you attractive.
That's fair.
Right. So you could have that point of view, but let's be real. Like you see all these, like, how many old people who are rich, who are no, I'm sorry. How many old people who are regular and single have young girlfriends?
Yeah, look at Donald Trump's wife. I mean, Melania Trump was bad as shit. I mean, he's been busted for mad long.
Well, the thing is, and then you have like who was the one who passed away? Anna Nicole Smith. She married that 100-year-old old dude, right? Like, the thing is, that dude, had he had a regular income, he's not doing that. That's fair. Why we like that? It's the truth. Yeah. Right? It's just
that's fine. I don't know if I 1,000,000% agree, but that's fine.
Yeah, what do you mean you don't 1 million?
Maybe he had nice eyes. I couldn't tell under the wrinkles. You know what I mean?
You're pissing me off. Because you don't want to admit it, but it's the truth. But it's something that now we can't even talk about.
Listen, I don't think there's enough money that's going to make me look less busted. You know what I mean? I don't think it's going to help me.
Yeah, but personally, if you drive around in a Lamborghini and you got a nice house.
I don't fit in a Lamborghini.
Yeah, no, that's true.
No, but to your point though, to stop bullshitting, to your point, because I know, because even to make this more human, let's take it away from money and act like people aren't shallow for 1 second. The fact remains that when I was fatter, now you can say it's confidence.
Right. Oh, yeah.
You can say it's confidence if you want it.
Yeah.
I would disagree. You feel me? Because I'm not super confident right now. I'm a little bit more confident. Right. But it's because I'm better looking. I've lost weight and I look better now to the opposite sex. You know what I mean? Exactly. And therefore I get more attention. Sure.
Yeah, no. And these are the things, like, I saw something and I was so angry when I saw it. And the thing is, I would have to see this person and talk to them to really make the final judgment. Mm-hmm. But she was a bigger person. And she was saying, and then she lost a lot of weight. Mm-hmm. And she's like very attractive now. And she's like, nobody wanted to talk to me then, but now everybody wants to talk to me kind of thing. I'm like, okay, let's backtrack that up a bit, because you're playing almost like this victim role. Yeah. Because when you are you attracted to men who are that size? Right. Because then if you are, then hey, more power to you. Right? Then you got the same energy. Correct. Right now you're saying, hey, I was you're actually saying fat. I was ugly, so nobody wanted to talk to me. Nobody was attractive to me.
Yeah.
Now I'm attractive. Now people want to talk to me. So who are you talking to?
Correct.
Right? Are you talking to someone who's like 350?
Yeah.
You know, and more than likely not. Right?
Yeah.
You know,
Correct.
it's just
That's a fact. It's a fact. Listen, the everybody positivity model, like the bigger women that are body positivity models are always with some dude that's jacked. You feel me? They ain't ever with no fat dude. You feel me? I'm not in any of those pictures. You feel me?
It's true.
I'm not sitting there like, what's up? It's my girl.
Yeah.
I'm not in any of them pictures.
It's true, bro.
Yeah.
It's just a weird thing. But you know what? Like you said, like, you know what, when you started this, you're like, people are horrendous.
Yeah, people are terrible.
People are terrible. And the thing is, I think what ends up happening is we put
expectations.
I think, we're now with social media, now we just realize how terrible people are. Think about it. Every day, common folk, right? Because what happens is when we see common folk, when we think of, we can think of victim.
Correct.
Right? Because we're like, they're getting it by the man. They don't have health care.
Yeah.
They're victim. And it's true, right? In regards to their health care, they could be victims.
Yeah.
However, they can be, a majority of these of people are still horrendous.
Correct.
Who don't have these jobs. Who do you think is going to, what kind of person do you think you're going to be able to put them in positions of power and they're going to be great human beings?
Correct.
Not that many. They're all going to do some corrupt stuff because you know what? We're all natural. No one, when you get pulled over for speeding, you don't say, officer, can I have the ticket? I deserve it.
Yeah.
No, you hope to get out of it.
Correct.
You hope to get out of something that you know you did.
Correct.
How many times you got more nicks in your car than whatever? I got nicks in my car. You know why? They're not from me. They're from people banging into my door, scratching my door, knowing they scratched it and left.
You want to know what's funny? Is this is the ultimate parallel universe situation. So I was I went to the gym one time with Andrew, and it was like a crazy windy day.
Right.
To the point where my car door flew open. I didn't hit anyone, but you could just tell, damn, this shit's windy as fuck.
Right.
I come back out, and there's a big ass dent in my door.
Yeah.
Right, like a scratch, not a big ass, but significant enough. Yeah. Put it this way, it's gonna cost like $400 to fix. Right. The dude left his number, an apology, and his phone number on my windshield.
Yep.
And I called him, and I told him, don't worry about it, because of the gesture, right? Because how fucked up do we think about how fucked up of a world we have to live in? Because Andrew was giving me shit. He said, no, you should have gone to pay for it. I'm like, no, but how does that encourage this person to ever be honest again? Right? Like, if you want to encourage someone to be honest, and this is the thing that I talk about with Lucas, with Rachel, about giving someone, what's going to be his incentive to tell the truth? When he tells you the truth, you flip out, you yell, you punish and all that, right? When he tells me the truth, I say, well, you're going to be in trouble now, right? Very calmly, you're going to be in trouble. You messed up, you know better, right? What's the incentive? Because people are acting in their self-interest all of the time, 100% of the time. People act in their self-interest. So when that dude left his number there, he did something that was not in his self-interest.
Right.
And I called him, and I did something that was not in my self-interest.
Right.
And I let him go because he did the right thing. And I said, yo, you know what, bro? Don't even worry about it, man.
Yeah, no. And the thing is, but the thing is, you have to remember, he did that knowing that of what was right? Correct. That was just. Correct. I messed up your stuff. I'll do it. The thing is, if you would have done the same thing, he might have been like, okay, here's what's your insurance.
He might have.
And he's not a bad person for doing it because you jacked up his car.
Correct.
Right?
100%.
So,
and I'm not a saint for letting him go.
Right.
All I did was return him the same grace he had given to me.
No. Here's the thing. What you did was you appreciated that.
Correct.
So much more than what the actual damage was.
Yep.
Like that gesture had a bigger effect on you than you fighting the person who messed up your car.
Correct.
Sometimes that's what it is, man. Like, I mean, I've had people rear end me and, I've been like, look, man, it's cool. Like, and I know they're like, whew, whatever. But then, think about just like the and when you work in service industry, like, when I worked at Enterprise, like, you just see people who are horrendous, and just in a regular business setting. And then, it's just what, it's you're right. It's the nature of humans, and that's why relationships don't work, because you have to look out for that other person.
That's why a lot of times
you have to put that person first before yourself. And especially now, it's almost nearly impossible to do, because there's more things that are going to distract you, and there's always this FOMO. Like, you always feel like you're missing out, like, on something. For sure. So, yeah, man. I mean, we're probably. I mean, married. I think we're going to get to a point where, people don't get. You're going to have less marriages. Kind of like Japan, right?
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Japan, they're not even procreating anymore.
Yeah.
Like, they actually, Japan sells more adult diapers than baby diapers. No lie.
That's crazy. Wow.
I mean, the Japanese people live long too.
Yeah.
So, they got, so you got to think about
that's
it.
That's just a random stat that but that's crazy.
Yeah. But they're not eating all the crap we eat. I mean, they don't eat milk, like a lot of dairy in their diet, whatever. So, that's just like that's what's gonna happen, man. So, I mean, we're getting to this place where, like, relationships and marriages, it's gonna get weird. It's gonna be like, what's the point?
Well, I think, what though, I would actually go a little bit left, because because I'm on the other side of the fence from you, right? And what I would say is, just like college, right? Just like education, all of it. Right. People are realizing that the brushstroke process of how we thought life was supposed to be doesn't apply for everybody.
Right.
Now, that's not to say that, like, marriage could be built for you and you could fuck up. That's one thing.
Right.
Marriage may not be built for you and then you fuck up. That's a different thing. Right? Whereas, like, this was an unnatural role for you in the first place. And I don't think marriage is necessarily built for everybody. Dude, I remember there was this one dude I worked with a couple years ago. One of the coolest people is dude. I won't give him his name.
Right.
He lived in, I think he was from New Brunswick in Jersey. This is when I lived in Jersey. I worked in Edison. And one of the realest dudes, he had just come home, I think, a year or two earlier. He, was a significant drug dealer, and he was trying to go straight, right? He was working here at this warehouse, and one of the fucking coolest people I've ever met in my life. No lie, like, which is one of the dopest people I've ever met. And we were talking about relationships one time, because he cheats on his wife all the time.
Right.
And like, it was one of the most, I thought it was in the Twilight Zone talking to him about it.
Yeah.
Because he was like, nah, I know it's wrong, but I don't know any other way to live, is what he said to me.
Right.
And I was like so fucking taken aback.
Right. But then he would never tolerate her cheating.
Correct. Which is the misogyny, like, that's like almost a misogyny. It's not a misogyny, it's just a selfish thing.
Yeah, I don't think anyone who...
Yeah, because she could be doing the same exact thing and she would never tolerate it.
Yeah, nobody wants to...
No one wants to get cheated on. Unless you're in a non-monogamous relationship, then it's all good.
It's not cheating. Yeah.
It's not cheating. But anyway, and it was one of the... But the thing is, because he was such a real dude, I didn't strike him as making an excuse for himself.
Yeah.
He was just saying, like, yo, this is just who I am. Marriage is not built for that dude right there.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Marriage was not built for him. There are people that marriage is built for, and I think people not. And same thing goes with education. I couldn't finish college.
Right.
By all accounts, I'm one of the smartest people most people know.
Yeah.
Until and I feel embarrassed when I say I don't have a degree, because I always, because the way society has been painted,
right.
If you don't have a degree, that means you must be dumb. You know what I mean? And it's like, no, that's not the case in my case. I just couldn't do school. The way we educate, and I've been talking about this forever. As a teacher, the way we educate people with a brushstroke, and not everybody's going to learn that way.
Yeah, it's weird. It's, I think it's weird because when we look at things, right? And of course, like, like with my faith, it says,
Yeah.
marry, don't be in an open relationship, right? So, one of the things that, I look at, and there's like certain things I see like in society that I'm like, okay, so I don't get, it's the same energy theory. Whereas,
we could call that the same
yeah,
energy
the same
theory.
energy theory, right? Because then I'm like, okay, right? But when we have kids, we're like, yo, like, look, studies show like when kids have both parents in their home, they do well in a bunch of different things, right? And I'm like, so like with this is like it's it's a weird thing because I'm like, so I think you're gonna see more people just start not getting married, right? I mean, we're seeing it. So does this just be like, where's that line, but then like, how are we having, if we still have these things, but then we're making like these conscious decisions of like, hey, I'm going to procreate with someone. It's one thing when, like in your case, where you were all set and then there was like a division, right? And then you decided the best thing for us is not to be together.
Correct.
But what if, and this has been going on, where people have kids with people who they never even wanted to be in a relationship.
Then they have no intention of this, yeah.
And then there's like the child, a lot of times receives the shrapnel,
correct,
and the damage of what that does,
correct,
right? I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. But I think right now marriage, I heard this one dude and he was like pretty convincing. He said there's no point for a man to be married.
Yeah, I don't completely disagree with that. Men are the worst. You know what I mean? We are the most terrible.
What he was saying is he said there's no benefit to him.
Correct.
Because, a lot of times when you get married, there's things that you stop doing. You can't hang out with your friends as much. You can't, but then like you receive a lot of the burden.
Yeah.
Right, of the marriage, right? If a divorce happens, men 9 times out of 10 are screwed.
Yeah, I pay alimony and all that.
Yeah. They're paying alimony. They're doing.
But the thing is though too. I think we have to actually go a step back because marriage gets ruined for men more when you make it legal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Men are terrified of that happening, right? And then
right.
the conversation of having a prenup and all that, and which, by the way, women have prenups too, but just from a man's perspective, if a man wants to sign a prenup, that conversation is difficult. The fact that you make it this legal proceeding is not really making men want to get married.
Right.
If you believe me, if I slip, fall, and fuck another woman, that's going to happen regardless if we're legally tied or not. You feel me? Like that would happen. It's not going to make it less harder. But if you, what makes it less hard is, and I talk about this all the time too when it comes to relationships, like there's a difference when you're with somebody, and this is why I talk about, this is my thing. When I look at, this is why I've been single for so long.
Yeah.
When you look at a relationship, but one thing that happens oftentimes is it turns into a situation where you're just running the clock out with this person.
Yeah.
Right. So now, you're at the end of the line. You go, which was what was going to happen with me and Rachel before she called it off. We'll get married, and maybe that buys us 3 or 4 years of happiness, right? And then we go buy a house, and that buys us 10 years, 5 to 10 years of happiness. And maybe we go buy another car, and maybe that buys us 2 years. And we have another kid, and that buys us 5 years. And by the time you know it, 25 years deep into the marriage of running it out. You know what I mean? We didn't want to be together. We just ran the clock out until it ended.
Right.
But there's a difference between wanting to be there, between needing to be there, which is what the legal thing is. I need to be here because if I leave, there's alimony, there's child support, there's all this, and I don't have anywhere to move to, and then I got to buy a new car, and I got to get a new cell phone, I got to do all this, right? That's expensive. I can't afford to break up with you.
Right, exactly.
And the difference of I have my own, you have your own, and we want to be together. You feel me? Like that's a completely different thing. And that's what people is different when people need to be honest with themselves. You feel me?
Right.
Like, one of the worst things that happens is people just the inability for people to truly look at themselves and know who
Right.
the fuck they're talking to.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like that. Yo, you don't. This is why I say about the non-monogamous thing. Yeah, because I know exactly who the fuck I'm talking to. You feel me?
Right.
People think, nah, I want to get married, and you'll go like you'll see people who are serial monogamists just jump from one. One relationship to another. How does that make sense?
Right.
How do you even know who you are anymore?
Right. Right.
You know
Right.
what I
Right.
mean? You're fitting. You're trying to do the OJ glove. Meanwhile, your soul has arthritis, and the shit don't fit. You feel me? And that's a bar right there. You know what I mean? But it's just like, I'm very passionate about this. About
no.
relationships.
And it's true. It's true. And the thing is, though, what the thing is, people aren't. I feel like now, and this is like old school. And to me, now that I look back at it, I'm like the thing is, we're quick. Like people who get into these relationships, we're quick to do everything, right? Or we take too long, right? Like I know, like there's this dude who's been talking to this girl, the same girl, for years, and doesn't want to has not shown any inkling of trying to get married with her. You know, she's hurting, because she loves this guy so much that she wants to be with him for the rest of her life. He's not reciprocating that. But she's staying in there hoping. Now it's almost to this point where it's like a joke. Right? And, you know, the thing is, really, he just doesn't want to hurt her. That's the way I see it. You know, he doesn't want to hurt her. He cares about her, but he doesn't want to hurt her. So, you know, he's putting himself in a bad situation where he's going to suffer, right? Just because he doesn't have the nuts to say, hey, we got to break up. You know, so you're also taking advantage of that person. But I think what happens is there's not, and a lot of people don't have good examples of good relationships, right? So then you just carry those burdens on, you're like, why would I want like what my parents had? Because they were miserable, and I was miserable, right? So that's my example. So you never even knew what it was to be in a good relationship.
Correct.
So then when you get into, and then you have that trauma, all that, whatever, all the stuff that affects you in like your temper, just your loyalty, your commitment, you telling the truth, all those things, you carry that baggage into a relationship, and that person has to deal with that, and you have to be able to manage that too. So it's a big thing. Like, and of course I'm not going to tell you what to do, but it's like, I feel like, I think when people look at that, it's tough. But when you really like fall in love with someone, I can't see you thinking like, oh, I could share this person. Because of the trauma, you're just thinking negative, right? I couldn't imagine, because you know what? You can't give your heart to two people. There's, even when you hear all these like polyamorous and all those like relationships, like there's always that one person that has like the
main
rung.
There's the main person,
right, the main person. I mean, even in the what is it, what is that movie, the show, the about the Mormon dude who has like 5 wives?
Oh, Sister Wives.
Like he's done with one of them. Because she wasn't feeling like she was getting the attention, so she got into an online relationship and she got catfished.
Oh wow!
And that broke his trust. He was just like, nah, you know what I mean? And that's not really open. Like that's still a monogamous kind of. But it's with multiple. But that's
and that's a little bit different, because a polyamorous is more supposed to be like, I can have other partners, you can have other partners.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But I guess but I think the thing is the fact that person, I guess the only reason why I compared it was because those people have there's multiple people that you have to give your heart to and give attention to.
And it's impossible to
one
get
person.
Yeah, that's fair. But that's a different thing. The way I feel, I will not talk about how I feel. Not on this show, but I don't even know how we got here about relationships, but
because of Jada Pinkett.
Jada Pinkett out here grooming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Poor Will, heartbroken on that show.
Yeah.
But who knows? I'm sure Will has been.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure he's been slanging. You know what I mean?
They're like a little odd to me.
They're very, very. They seem like swingers, right? That's a thing that has never been confirmed, but that's more like the rumor, right? That they're swingers.
Yeah, that was the rumors, which they said they're not. But I think what it is the fact that like when you start getting, and this is where I went back to the Gwyneth Paltrow thing, is like people once they become big and famous, they start thinking of all types of ways to name things differently than what it actually is. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm like, you know, you're a celebrity and it's a ton of temptation. Like the thing is, these like if I were to be an athlete, I don't know, why would I get married? Because if the thing is, why would you get married when you know that you're gonna do what you want to do? Like you're gonna cheat on your wife. That's what all these dudes do. Yeah. Right? There's very few, you know, people who actually stay loyal. Yeah. To their wives because the temptation's hard. I guess unless you're like AC Green. Yeah, AC Green, which whatever, you know. That's all. I don't know if I believe him, but that's fine. I'll believe him because he's so adamant about it. Yeah. But I mean, you were on the Lakers with Magic Johnson at one point. Yeah. All right. This enough said. You know. What I mean? But they said he didn't do what they were doing. I understand that. Like he was not part of their. The thing is, here's the thing. We look. We know men are savages, but every once in a while you get there's a one who can stick by his morals. A la Fred right here. You know what I mean? Shout out to my man. No, Fred. I messed up. The thing is, I've messed up. I've gone against a lot of the things I believe, you know, and again, that's me being selfish, but it's me recognizing that I'm selfish. Right. And then you kind of learn from that. You know, I think that's where people get twisted with, you know, when people are like Christian, whatever, they think once you become Christian that you don't make no mistake, you know, no, that's the whole point. Right. Yeah. You know, literally in the Bible, all it is a people making mistakes. Yeah. It's just, you know, the King David, my man was full of mistakes, you know, but God uses people, you know, doesn't use perfect people because there's no such thing. Yeah. You know, I mean, you know, my man had sex with a woman and then he felt bad about it and then tried to get the husband murked. But he did it in a Jada Pinkett way. Yeah. Right. He tried to make it seem like, you know, they put him on the front lines. You know, he tried to make it. You know, seem like he was hoping that he would get killed in battle. So then it was like, it didn't feel bad about cheating. No, sorry. The dude was so faithful. That soldier was so faithful. He's like, nah. He made it back alive. I'm not gonna go with my wife. I'm ready to fight for you. You know, so I mean, it's tough, man. And I guess the whole thing out of this thing, and you know, what I see in society, you know, with like cancel culture and stuff like that, is that we're like, you know, we're again, big pain stroke, we'll cancel someone, whatever. There's no chance at redemption. And there comes to a point where like, no, you can't, you said that or you did that, you can't come back from that. Yeah. But then that's not the same energy with other people. Correct. You know what I'm saying? So and also here's the other thing too about cancel culture. Here what I think is the truth. I don't actually think cancel culture is a thing. Yeah. What cancel culture actually is people in Twitter getting really, really mad. Yeah. But people forget that Twitter is not the earth. Yeah. So when Louis C.K. was canceled but showed up at a show and it was packed and Louis C.K. was going to come out, and this is not the first show, because the first show, Louis C.K. continuing his rapey way raped the audience into him delivering a set that some of the people there did not want. Right. But after that, he's had shows that's like Louis C.K. is going to be performing, and guess what? Shows are packed. People are watching it. You feel me? There is no such thing as cancel culture. Cancel culture is a specific thing to Twitter. You know what I mean? No, you're right. I think it works in some ways. It can. I promise you, R. Kelly is still getting paid from. Well, he's off Spotify now, but I promise you, he still makes royalties and money. He ain't been canceled. I guarantee he ain't been canceled. Because while R. Kelly's music is gone from Spotify, he wrote "Fortunate" for Maxwell, the song "Fortunate," which is my favorite Maxwell song. Yeah, that song still gets streamed
R. Kelly still gets paid from that.
Right.
You feel me? So if you're gonna cancel culture doesn't actually exist.
Well, yeah, but and then when we think about it, right, is and it's easier to do it in the media. I mean, like for like famous people, but it's like, okay, I provided something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now you don't like me, so now you're trying to cancel my, my likelihood, my livelihood, right? Yeah. I don't, I think that's a really thin slope, that, or I don't know the terminology, but there's ways like with R. Kelly, the thing is like, if you don't like his music, I mean, if you don't like that person, and the thing is the music it change. When you find the truth, you're like, oh man, it's like kind of hard to listen to him.
For R. Kelly specific too, because R. Kelly, you realize R. Kelly is literally singing about he rap what he live. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
and no. He was sick. You know, there's just too many people. I can't imagine these people going in a room, like these women going in a room and be like, all right, let's all make this laugh. No.
Yeah.
They're small, and there's just too much proof.
Correct.
Right? That, that he's this crazy dirtball, like scumbag. Correct. Right? So then are we like, okay, just don't, he's done. Like, he's going to be done. Like, people just are not going to really listen to, some people aren't, but it's like, what am I going to do? And then like, if someone provides some services, oh, I'm going to cancel them because they did this.
Yeah.
Which is probably kind of in the Goya thing. But, it's just weird because I think, it's this mob, this Twitter mob, but the thing is negativity far outshines positivity.
Sure.
You can have, like we talked about this, you can have 1,000 good comments. One bad comment is like a punch in the throat.
Yo. Won't catch me slipping if I'm actually thinking you're acting different. Manic, spitting sounds of manic, depressing, going through